Today, you join me in an FA Cup replay if we want to progress to the fourth round, and we continue to struggle to find form in the league. Hello, and it's a very warm welcome to episode number 77 of To Be a Legend. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have for you two games, as mentioned. First up, we have the FA Cup third round replay against Blackpool, and then we have a championship match day, and I can't remember which match day it is, but it's against Hull City. And we're continuing to struggle to find that form. If you do enjoy today's episode, though, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification button. It all helps here on YouTube. Since you were last with us, we've played just one game, and that game we will talk about in just a moment. But before that, because we've got the third round replay in the FA Cup, it does mean that we went into the draw for the fourth round of the FA Cup, and I'm going to pass you to past Mark, who's going to go through that draw with you. And having drawn with Blackpool in the last episode, we have the draw for the fourth round of the Emirates FA Cup, and of course because courtesy that we haven't played the replay yet, we do go into the draw for this. 32 teams, and I presume that includes the teams that are still tied, including ourselves, Blackpool and Buxton there, of course. Okay, let's get underway. Oh, and we're first out. Look at that. So, we will be playing. We will be at home. If we get past Blackpool, we will be at home to Sheffield United. Sheffield United of the Championship. So we've played them already, and what we're going to do now is we're going to draw the rest of the draw. It's going to be a very short draw, isn't it? And let's have a look at the full draw. Tottenham, Burnley, an all Premier League affair there. Bournemouth will play Bristol City or Boreham Wood in the fourth round. Fulham and Lincoln City. Liverpool, Watford or Everton. Manchester City are away to Plymouth. Chelsea at home to Nottingham Forest. And plenty of chance to have a look for your team in amongst that lot. I'll hand you back to future Mark, and he'll show you how that lines up with the schedule, albeit I presume it won't actually show up yet until we've played the replay. And we won't see it on the schedule just yet because, of course, we need to get through this third round replay for it to show up here. We are expecting it to show up around about where Cardiff is due on the 6th of February. So the next episode could be Ipswich Town and an FA Cup fourth round, or it could be against Cardiff, depending on whether Cardiff are through to the fourth round as well, of course. I didn't check that bit out, which was very remiss of me. Yes, since you were last with us, we have played one game. That game against Coventry, a 3-0 win. We reset. I've just realised, I think I mentioned it in my other series, is I realised that you occasionally need, it's a bit like Wi-Fi and stuff like that. Just every so often you need to reset the tactic within FM because it just gets a bit... so you just need to reset, and that is exactly, I didn't do any more. I'm not tweaked with anything. I've not reset anything. All I did was I just went in, reloaded the tactic, which meant that anything where we fiddled around with it and we moved players around, whatever we'd done with it, just got rid of all that noise, just put it back to the tactic as we'd originally saved it, and this is what happened. We won 3-0, 2-0 in the first half. Perry Moss, who started for us in this game, I think my assistant manager must like him. Anyway, he made a start, scored after 19 minutes. It was a very good goal, actually. And then Joe Lewis. I don't think he scored all season. Then suddenly he's decided that he's found his scoring boots. And he's scoring. Having said that, I think he's done it from his head, actually. Here's the goal from Perry Moss. Tomlinson on the rampage down that wing. Crosses it in. Perry Moss just sort of very neatly tucks it away. 1-0. We will see the Joe Lewis goals. Why not? Indeed. A corner. Tomlinson, Joe Lewis, flicked header. Number 2. And then 79 minutes in, a free kick this time. Lewis gets up above the defenders. It's 3-0 and we have a winner. Thank you very much to the boys. Joe Lewis getting did he get a player of the match? Do you know, I was looking at that. He didn't. Tomlinson beat him to it by 0.2 of a thing. So them two played. Tomlinson did really have a cracking game against Coventry, and I want more of the same today, please. That leaves us in the table. We are in 11th place. I think 2 places above where we were left you at the end of the episode. As you see, our form is a little bit remiss. 1-2, lost 3 in the last 5. Need to start to put some more greens in amongst that lot. But it does leave us sort of like pretty happily mid-table. As it was. I mean, I know we've had a bit of a torrid run, and to be honest, we were sort of almost stuck on 13th place. Whatever was going on around us wasn't really affecting, even though we were losing. I presume everybody around us wasn't having a good time. And I think, as I said before, in the Championship, as in real life, anybody can beat anybody. It's a bit of a nonsense. You know, it's one of those that very, very rarely do you get, perhaps a bit like Burnley last season, do you actually get a side that goes out and you can pretty much guarantee they'll beat everybody in sight. It doesn't happen even with the teams coming down from the Premier League, doesn't happen that often. So that's how it is. We're in 11th on 42. Admittedly, we could end up back down in 13th place. We are only in 11th place on goal difference. And I think those 3-0 win against Coventry probably did the pushing up. Otherwise, we'd still been in 13th place. But Coventry and Watford are on the same amount of points as us, which means that we need to keep pumping away at that. And then down in the relegation zone, Swansea, Birmingham and Sheffield Wednesday, as I said in the last episode. Obviously, we were turned down for the jobs for Swansea and Sheffield Wednesday. To you then. And Norwich and Brentford currently in the automatics, 61 points. Norwich clear at the top. Some 8 points clear of Brentford in second. Southampton are in third on 52, and then come Blackburn, Sunderland, West Brom in the rest of the playoff places. That is how the table looks. Today's opponents, Blackpool, down in 15th, 38 points. They've had a bit of a mixed season, really, but we haven't been able to beat them so far this season. Let's hope we can go out and do it today. It would be rather splendid. We have played them just the twice this season, losing 2-0 at Bloomfield Road and then a 1-1 draw in the FA Cup third round first game. We bring them to Edgeley Park, which theoretically gives us an advantage. Let's see if we can make the most of that advantage. And here is the team that will face Blackpool in this Emirates FA Cup third round replay. I did mention the next episode and whether Cardiff would be there or not. It is an open question because they are playing Swansea. It was obviously a draw in the first game because they are in replay today as well. This is the team then. It's Thomas in goal. Bridge, Samick and Lewis are back three. Burrows and Tomlinson are play as the wing backs, the complete wing backs is the word I was trying to think of. May and King in that central defensive midfield roles. Richards and Moss, as they were in the last game, play as the attacking midfield players. And we have Omatoy up front. Nathan Fraser, hang on a minute, I'm just checking now whether... I can't remember. Do you know what? I've got a feeling we played him as an attacking midfielder last time out, which we're going to do again. Fraser is still injured, so he's not due back. He's not even passing fitness tests at the moment. And Ashley Fletcher, he's well off form, so we've sat him on the bench for a little bit. I think he probably will get a nose in in the not too distant future. But today he's not in the match day squad. The bench looks like this. Gunter on the bench. Gamble, Scanlon, Sass Davis, Odofin, McDonald, Dudizak, Mundell and Adrizzi. And this is how the two sides compare against one another. And as you'll see, playing a very similar formation. The only difference is they're playing two wide players compared to us playing a sort of slightly narrower attack at the top. But otherwise, it's pretty much like for like. Fotheringham in goal then. Clark, Phillips and Bette are the defensive three. Thompson and Gabrielle are the wide complete wing backs. Dozev and Humphreys as the defensive midfielders. Yates and Doyle play as the wide players in attacking midfield. They sit behind Max Morris up front, and then on the bench they have Hamilton, Elise, Wright, De Cordova, Reed, Bobby, Adams, Penny, Jenkins, Stewart and Gilly. Confirmation of the two teams for you on screen. And we've gone right the way through that first half. No highlights to show you, and we haven't hit the target yet. We've had 6 shots, none on target. They've had 6 and hit the target 3 times, 0.29. None of them worth showing you. We have had 57% of the possession, though. We need to be a little bit better in the second half and keep the shots ratio going, but we need to be hitting the target. Once again, that is our downfall. And with nearly 50 minutes on the clock, we do get a highlight. And it's Blackpool with the highlight, playing in all orange today. And so far pushing them back. That's gone out wide to Thompson. Thompson finds Ozidev. And they come forward. Get in there, get in, tackled it. Oh, Lewis cuts that out, but only as far as Doyle. On the edge of the area, he's chipped it in and it's over the top. Gabrielle with a throw in, a long throw in. Samek heads that down to May. Richards, he comes forward. This is the first highlight we've had with an attack. That's a poor ball. Richards just really not doing it, but luckily Lewis cut that out. King has it. King comes forward. He's got support with Lewis. Lewis has ventured forward. Lewis finds Samek. Samek finds May. Back to Samek. Bridge. May. Very cagey affair this. Through to Richards. Richards has a shot. And a fine shot from the edge of the area. And he's offside. Just gone fractionally. When that ball was played, that's the player that's... look at that. Just very fractionally. There's not much in it. But just offside. Thomas with the rollout to Samek. Seems to be getting a few highlights now, which is good. Making up for the first half. Moss out to Tomlinson. Tomlinson to Moss. Moss finds King. Now this is looking promising. King tries to have a go, but he's not really got a lot of... And Daniel Samek has picked up an injury, potential foot injury on the 56th minute. That's not good, is it? Right. We need to have a look and see who can take his place. This might take a few minutes, so I'm just going to do a cut and I'll come back. Right, I think we've sorted it out. Bridge has moved into that libero central defensive position. Sass Davis coming on then for Daniel Samek. Let's hope that injury isn't too bad. And that he'll be back fairly soon. Otherwise, no changes. And De Cordova Reed is on, and that's gone out for a goal kick. That was from a free kick, and the highlight continues from the said free kick or goal kick. And that ball through looking for Omatoy, but didn't find him, and it's headed back to Fotheringham. Blackpool have the highlight. Bridge heads that down nicely to King. Moss through to Omatoy. Omatoy's in space. Omatoy puts it away. That is a very, very good 6th goal of the season. And the linesman moved. It looked like it was offside for a minute, but it's counted. It was a good counter-attack. King, Moss through to Omatoy. Omatoy naked a space, and he hit that deliberately with real deliberate thing. So good. Question of offside, but he wasn't. I suppose if he touched the ball, Richards was again, but Omatoy wasn't, and therefore it's been allowed. And with 70 minutes on the clock, we're going to make 2 more changes. Adam May is tiring. He's had a good game, and we've replaced him with a Dauphin. King moving over to the left side, a Dauphin on the right. We've just switched their thing. So King stays as the deep line playmaker on that left side, and Dauphin comes on as a ball-winning midfielder. Taylor Richards not having such a good day. He's not had a bad day, but he's not been... he's full fettle. So Mundle comes on for him, and we'll have Mundle as attacking playmaker, I think. And that's how we're set at the moment. And a corner for Blackpool. Swung in. A Dauphin heads it clear, but only as far as Thompson, and they get... It's still there. Cordova Reed comes out for it. And need to be defending well here. Try and stop them getting back in the game. And that's nearly cut out. Omatoy trying to get to it. It's Yates, but it's blocked by Tomlinson. Tomlinson, good bit of defending. Finds Moss. A Dauphin. We can break out here. Moss back to Lewis. Lewis now to a Dauphin. King to Sass Davis. Sass Davis finds Burrows. Back. Oh, is that Burrows short? And Sass Davis. Oh, Cordova reads in. And it's gone over the top. It's a corner. And that was Burrows. Very casual and very poor. The Cordova Reed send that in, but Thomas catches that. And with 78 minutes on, nearly 79 minutes, all by a second, we make our final changes. Mungo Bridge is tiring. He's had a good game. We have replaced him with Gamble. Sass Davis moving into that libero role, and Gamble coming in on the left of Sass Davis. We have also taken off Burrows, making those mistakes. We can't afford him to make mistakes like that. So Scanlon is on for Burrows. And our final change, have we made a final change? I don't think we have. I think that is it, because I think we'd done all the other changes, hadn't we? I think Adam May had come off, and Taylor Richards. If not, Taylor Richards has come off for Mundle, but I think we did that last time. Blackpool with a throw in. Mbete nearly won that back on that wing, but they've put the ball out wide. And Lewis is out there. Lewis needs to stop him. He's crossed in, but Thomas equal to that. Gamble. It's a quick rollout. Scanlon trying to get the attack underway again. Scanlon comes forward. Scanlon swings it out, looking for Moss. Finds Moss. Moss with Tomlinson in absolutely acres of space. All he's got to do is put it in for Omatoy, who's put it wide. And it's all over. We've won the replay by a 1-0. It was a good game. And player of the match again from Joe Lewis. He's had he's in really good form at the moment. Thomas, who's come back in the goal for Gunter, has had a couple of good games as well. And he's managed to keep them at bay. They had 11 shots straight at target. In fact, I'd be interested to have a look back to half-time and see what that was at half-time. I think they only had 3 shots on target at half-time. So did very, very well there. I think it was 6 and 3. So they've had another 5 shots, but not actually had any more on target. I think we had 6 shots and nothing on target. But we've got 3 on target in this second half and put one of them away. Slightly lower than them on the XG. They had 105. We had 0.91, but we still held on to that position. I think it was 57 at half time. It's 56 in the second half. It's pretty even Stevens, as the matches have been, but we've got the better of them, and we're through to the fourth round, and we'll have a look how that fits in the schedule in just a moment. And before we have a look how it all fits in the schedule, confirmation of the other scorelines. Swansea getting the better of Cardiff in the end, 2-1. So Cardiff were not through to the fourth round, but that game will be postponed. Leeds beating Southampton in extra time, 3-2. Hull City went to penalties and won against Milton Keynes Dons after a 0-0 draw. Luton beating Sheffield Wednesday 2-1. And Chesterfield beating Barnsley by 2-0. And there we are, confirmation of that fourth round game against Sheffield United. Sheffield United, then Ipswich Town, and Sheffield United in the next episode. And of course, it will be the end of the transfer window as well. So we'll be finding out what's happening with that. So that's coming up in the next episode. But before that, we have a game against Hull City up in Hull in the Championship. And it's a game that we really need to sort of win to get ourselves back on form. Previously, I don't know, we've played them twice. Played them in the EFL Cup second round, lost to them 3-1 at the MKM Stadium, and a 1-1 draw against them at Edgeley Park. So back up to the the MKM Stadium, and see how we can do a second time. Let's hope it's not a big loss like we had last time out. And this is the side that will face Hull City in Sky Bet Championship Match Day 29. And Thomas continues in goal, keeping Gunter out at the moment. Gamble, Sass Davis and Lewis are back three. Scanlon and O'Dofin are the wide complete wing backs, with May and King in those central defensive midfield roles. Tilly returns at the expense of Perry Moss, who's on the bench today, mainly because he was tired. And Richards just moving over to the right, which is his more preferred position. And Fletcher leads the attack. Omatoy was tired, but to be honest, don't think he's done too bad. And he's had a good couple of games. I am tempted. No, we'll give Fletcher a run out. Might not be the most ideal time, but as Omatoy's on reasonable form, but just give him a little bit of a rest. And the bench then looks like this: Gunter, Williams, McDonald, Costello, Moss, Dudizak and Drizzy. Bad news, Daniel Samek had picked up a pretty bad injury. He's going to be out for 2 to 4 weeks in total, having picked up that injury during the game against Blackburn. And Harrison Burrows, he's picked up a knock as well in training. Pulled ankle ligaments. He's going to be out for 10 days to 2 weeks. And this is how the two teams face up. They're playing a 4-3-3 with a defensive midfielder. We're sticking to the formation that we've been with. And Hull City down in 16th place with 34 points. We're in 11th with 42 points. Confirmation of those two teams for you. And we have a highlight from kickoff, which we don't get very rarely anyway. And Hull City have the kickoff and have the highlight as it currently stands. Launching a long ball. Sass Davis underneath that, though, to Lewis. King finds Richards. Richards back to Sass Davis. May over the top, looking for Tilly, but didn't find him. But Scanlon is there. Through to Tilly. Tilly's in, and Tilly scores. He dispatched that very, very well. First goal of the season for Tilly, I think that is. And we are 1 up inside a minute. A long way to go, of course. Tilly didn't look as if he was going to get here. It might even have caught a deflection off of Tilly, you know. But Tilly dispatched that very, very well. Hackett with a throw in as they try and get back on level terms. And it's all what's gone on here. It's all right, it's safe. Thomas, highlight continues. Thought the don't think the defender touched it because he knew he was offside, which I think was the situation. At least I'm hoping that's the case. Richards finds Tilly. Tilly finds Richards. Richards has a shot from the edge of the area, puts it wide. And we have a highlight, 36 minutes in. A couple of highlights early on. Richards now into the area. Richards cuts it back for Lewis. Lewis will cross this deep for Tilly, who's put it wide. King, Sass Davis. Sass Davis trying to get one over the top. Didn't do it. They launch a long one, but Sass Davis is there. Brings it under control. Comes into their half. Tries to put it through for the run of Richards, I think that was. It was Richards. And they've launched one now. Mateos is in. And we've got to be careful here. He's had a shot and he scored. His second goal of the season. And they've caught us cold. And we've paid for it. Very poor. Just berated the team. Very poor. Matters and a shot from distance. Thomas not getting anywhere near it. Half time comes, no more highlights. And that was a poor end to that first half. 44 minutes, and that's really done us, albeit we were only 1 up and really should have converted some of the other chances we've had. We've had 12 shots, 4 on target, 0.61, 62% of the possession. We should have been more than a goal up. They've had 2 shots, just the 1 on target, which they scored, 0.18, 38% of the possession. We've been the better team, but we've not converted that into a result or a scoreline that will get us a result as it stands at the minute. Scanlon with a throw in. First highlight of this second half. 51 minutes on the clock. Scanlon crosses it for Gamble. Straight into the arms of Trafford. Highlight is going to continue, which is a bit of a worry. Lewis heads that down to a Dauphin though. A Dauphin on that far side. A Dauphin tries to cross the ball in. Did catch a deflection and Hull have the ball. Swung out wide. Scanlon there though. Tilly. Oh, Tilly's brought down Mowat. And Tilly got sent off for that. We're down to 10 men and causes us all sorts of problems. Just when we were thought we might get back into this game. In which case, what we're going to do is we're going to go deep lying playmaker defend for King. Ashley Fletcher's still not improved. May, we're going to move him forward a little bit. We're going to move him to there and we're going to turn him into a box-to-box midfielder on support. That sets that. Tilly was having a good game as well. And off his feet, caused us all sorts of problems. Right, Ashley Fletcher's coming off. Really, probably shouldn't have started him. Should have put Omatoy in there. He's got worse. He's not as good as he was. So I'm going to put a Drizzy up front. I think we're sort of like. We're a bit peppered because of this change that we weren't expecting to have to make. Drizzy goes up front. Richards as the shadow striker. I am tempted to take Richards off as well, albeit Eli King is getting tired and we will need to replace him probably. Right, we'll stick with that for the moment and we'll come back to it in a moment or two. And they have a free kick at 68 minutes. Corbeneau Oh, it's come back off the woodwork, I think. And with 73 minutes on the clock, we're making a number of changes, of course, because of the James Tilley thing. We are down to 10 men, and we're stuck in there at the minute. It's been a bit do or die, but we're still there. Changes then. Joe Lewis has come off. He's tired, having played 2 games and been doing very well of late as well. Williams on for him. Eli King also tired, and Gary McDonald comes on to replace him. Taylor Richards has come off. Perry Moss is on to replace him, and I think we'd already made the change of Ashley Fletcher and brought on a Drizzy. We can still make one change, that coming shortly. And with 85 minutes on the clock, making one more change. Adam May, who's very, very tired, he's come off. He's not had such a good game today. And we brought on Harrison Dudizak for him. And that's the final change we can make. But our defensive line is also getting very, very tired. Hull getting that one forward, but it's headed on. Sass Davies is there. May. May still on the pitch. McDonald. Scanlon. Scanlon comes forward. Scanlon's been tackled, but he's still got the ball. Crosses it in, and a Drizzy. His second goal of the season, and that may well be the winner. Just turned the gas up just as we made those changes, which haven't been made yet. And a tackle then going in from Siquet, and he's crossed that in. A Drizzy drives it in, and super sub. Question of offside as that ball's crossed in. He's just on. Player here. Playing him on. Hackett. And chance for one more highlight. 6 minutes and we are in the 5th minute. Thomas launches one forward. Dudizak is underneath it. Dudizak into the area. Cross the ball in. He's had a go on his own and should have crossed that. He had 2 players. He had a Drizzy and Moss there waiting for the ball. And it means they get a chance to launch one. Last ditch, Williams pumps that one forward. A Drizzy heads it on. Moss, and I think he was offside. He was. Free kick ensues. We're in the 6th minute of added time now, and this is going to be really annoying. Matarsk, all he can do is head it, and it's offside anyway. Free kick. We're in and over the 6 minutes added on. Williams just trying to kill time. We're going to go to a positive mentality. Williams trying to kill time, and it's all over. We've beaten Hull City by 2-1. They did us a minute before the end of half time, and we've done them through Ismet Drizzy on 89 minutes, and we have got a winner, MKM. And believe it or not, we've won with 10 men. Callum Scanlon having a game, and I think it was his cross in that actually did well. He come on. And he didn't. He started, didn't he? He's had a splendid game today. A player of the match, 8.4. We had 16 shots, 7 of which were on target. Not quite 50%, but not far away from it. 1.10, 58% of the possession. They had 10 shots, 6 on target. Come back into that game. But what do you expect? We were down to 10 men, at 42% of the possession. We'll take those 3 points. Thank you very much. Well, that win means that we finished the episode in 11th place, equal on points and on goal difference to Coventry City, who've jumped over the top of us. Sheffield United dropping below us. They were above us. They've dropped below us, I presume. They've lost to Bristol City, which is why they've dropped below us. Watford must have lost as well because they were on 42 points. They're still on 42 points. Or have they not played? 28, so they've not played, which is why they're still there. So we could drop down if that game, they win that game, depending on how many they score, of course. But happy, we're 11th place, 6th place, just 5 points adrift of West Brom in that final playoff place at the moment. So just need to keep plodding. Seems to be picking up a little bit of form again now. Fingers crossed anyway, that's how it goes. And the only thing that we hadn't covered in the episode before we look at the next episode is we hadn't covered the transfer window, of course. Nobody else coming in. We haven't brought anybody in since Dara Costello. So nobody actually in the transfer window. We probably need to be looking at something. Reagan Griffiths had left us. He was fed up. He wanted to go. We agreed to let him go. He's gone for 32,000 to Leyton Orient. So he's departed, which has freed up a little bit of wage budget. I think possibly over the next week or so, we should be looking to bring at least one player in, if not a couple. We'll see how that all works itself through. We're coming back for Ipswich and Sheffield United, I think. Did we see Ipswich earlier in the season? I think we might have done, actually. In which case, I'll tell you what we'll do. We will come back for the FA Cup 4th round and come back for the game against West Brom. So Sheffield United, West Brom in the next episode. And what we'll also do then is round up the transfer window for you as well. That's what we'll do. So Sheffield United and West Brom in the next episode. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification button. That keeps you up to date with all that's happening here on To Be a Legend and our other series, Making Chelsea Stand Proud, and of course any new series as and when we release them. If you want to keep up to date with what's happening on this channel and more, you need to follow me on Twitter at JustOffsideToo. New episodes To Be a Legend currently released every Monday and Thursday at 4:15 p.m. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you for the next episode. It's the FA Cup 4th round and a game against West Brom, because I don't think we've seen West Brom before. Coming up in the next episode. Until then, bye-bye.